Yo, bro, you're welcome to Bubbling 247. It's really good to have you for this conversation. I know that it's been a while that we wanted to have the conversation because we've both been busy, but I'm glad that we have this conversation. So yeah, uh, I I know your name, I know what you're building, but of course, for the sake of our listeners and viewers, they would love to know who we have on the seat today. So yeah, uh, would love to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity just to be here to tell my story, to showcase to the world. Yeah, so just a little bit about me. I'm Cyril Kargbo, co-founder at Mocha. We're building a WhatsApp native neobank from Sierra Leone. And yeah, so we've been at this for a bit, 18 months, and it's been quite a very interesting journey. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to share with you and the listeners. So I don't know if I should get right into my background.
Yeah, yes. Actually, we're going
Uh,
there. Before we even talk about what you're
okay,
building,
good.
would love to, because sometimes, founders, the whatever they're building, sometimes it's inspiration from their background, or also their background kind of shape who they are, to the grit, the determination, the entrepreneurial spirit. So I would love to, get into insight into your background. How did you grow up? Where did you grow up? What were the things that shaped your thinking and then give birth to, what, I need to build something for Cirelo.
Okay. So yeah, born and raised in Sierra Leone. Yeah, so went to school here also. And so my family background is actually so we're into commerce, as in trading electronics. So I've been exposed to, I would say, the entrepreneur side of things, as in
Oh,
yeah, just solving and meeting demands. So yeah, so right after my senior school, I was supposed to be, and on board into the family
into the
business.
family
So
business. Oh,
that's
okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's yeah, that's when I get involved full time. But just at the same time, also it was more at the time where the study abroad thing for Africa students were at a peak.
Oh,
So yeah, so my family wanted me to study abroad, but also, yeah, in the meantime, I had to be involved in the business. So it was at that time, I was just, I was more like, exposed to the internet and, yeah, and then just looking up stuff. I think just as a curious teenager, just looking up what is going on in the world, just, using the internet as a window just to see what's the other side of the world looks like. So that's how I discover blockchain technology and crypto in general. So then yeah, so then as we were into trading and we have to do payments to our suppliers
yeah.
on the other side of the world, mostly Indian. So then yeah, I just came in contact with someone that introduced me to stablecoin, and that was when oh, this is interesting. So I introduced my uncle to it since he was the one that was actively involved in the
For
business.
business.
So
Oh,
introduce yes, yeah, because yeah, doing payment, yeah, was actually a pain, especially with in those times wherein the Leons was not quite stable and even the access to bank was quite interesting.
yeah.
So yeah, so every time we do payment, it will yeah, there is so much headache that go into it. So then I just try to lure in my uncle into it. I'd be like, okay, listen, there's a new way people do payment, and I think we can try this. And then it was not easy because
Ah.
that's the whole family bread. So if yeah,
You don't want
so
to
so yeah,
lose it.
yes,
I
yeah,
mean,
yes,
certainty is very
exactly.
important for people of their
Mm,
generation. They
yeah,
like the
true.
traditional way of doing things. They want to feel the
It's
currency.
safe. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They like the way that it's safe. So yeah, so that was it. So then I have to get to this to this my elder because he was actually more like just coaching me into technology because yeah, for sure I do know. I do know I want to get into technology, but yeah, I was uncertain as in which end, if it's software engineering. Yeah. So
Mm,
then, yeah, so it was kind of just, just giving me the fundamental as in, yeah, learning how to code and just get to understand how most of the system works. So, yeah. So then I met him. I'd be like, listen, we're going to do this payment. Yeah, we have to make sure everything is clear because my dad is, my uncle is a bit very, very concerned with the
skeptical about
security.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So then he was like, okay, let's just do it this way. We'll do parts of the payment. I can fund it. And then, yeah, once everything is sure and your uncle is okay, then we can then just get him to just pay the balance. So that's how I get involved
Into
into the whole, yeah, blockchain and payment thing. And since then, yeah, it was just for self-use. As in, yeah, it was just how can our business
business.
just make
Yeah.
payments easier, and then, yeah, going on as then we start include, let's say, friends and family that are close that are also into business. Be like, oh yeah, well, we can help you just make payment. Yeah. So then, yeah, goes on, and then then I was like, okay, think this could be a thing. So then
Yeah.
and then I spin out my own small business. I did not look into the whole
The Oko
commerce business.
e-commerce.
So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I spin out my own money transfer, yeah,
Okay.
using stablecoin, just a small scale of it. And yeah, so I do also had the whole MoneyGram, the Western Union,
Yeah,
so you could
Western
pick up
Union.
from my point,
Yeah.
and also I could do payments out. So it gets to a point that it gets to a point that my uncle wants me to just convert the whole business into that, and I was like, no, let's take it easy because yeah, I was doing it, but I was like, I don't have the depth. So
Oh
I was,
yeah. You're
yeah,
still
yeah,
learning,
yeah,
but more
this
like
year,
learning on the job.
yes, yes, exactly, yeah. So I was like, no, let's take it easy, yeah, and that's how I get to meet Paul. So
Oh,
there was this hackathon, yeah. So then there was this hackathon, and yeah, so I wanted to participate, and I was in my final year uni, and yeah, I was, yeah, studying IT, and I was about to do my dissertation, but then
okay.
there was this hackathon, yeah, at this new tech hub in Freetown, Sierra Leone. So I was like, okay, let me jump on it. So the hackathon has been going on for like a month, I guess, 4 weeks. And I only decided to participate like 4 or 5 days to the hackathon. And it was a global hackathon. It was a Solana hackathon.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like, oh yeah, yeah, let me see what I can do.
Was it
So
was it
I
different
went
from the
to,
Startup World Cup?
yeah, sure. Yeah. This was 2024, early
Okay.
2024, actually. Yeah. Yeah. So then I actually, this was 2023, late 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. October 2023. Yeah. So then I, yeah. So then I joined the hackathon, met the founder of the hub, of the tech hub, Chris X Foundation, Polinogu, that was doing the hackathon here. So then I met him, and then we had a discussion, just as we were discussing, and then try to get to know me and what I've been doing. And they'd be like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, there's this thing that I think you can get. And then he told me like the hub has been just playing around with this idea, more like how can we use stablecoin to power local payments. But
Payment.
yeah,
Yeah.
since he was from UK, still getting to know the market. So he was kind of just want to take his time to get to understand the local landscape. So, and then I'll be like, oh, that's my thing. So
This is
that's,
what I've been
yeah,
testing
yeah.
out.
So yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was pretty excited. So we bounced side there, and and then he was like, okay, since this is quite late, I guess we can just, see how we can get hands together, and then just bring out a first prototype and see what could be done. And then the idea at that time was, how can we, use USSD, because
Yeah.
mobile money was quite big here, but it was at the USSD level. So how can we use USSD as an interface for stable coin payment? So yeah, so we did a prototype, and yeah, and then we submitted for the global
Hackathon.
hackathon, and yes, and then we get like an honorable mention. Then met Paul right after that, because Paul was already with the foundation
Oh,
as
okay.
a as a product lead. Yeah. So met Paul, and yeah, so we just team up and be like, okay, now since hackathon done, we had a prototype. I know this can work. I can get first customers. Let's run with it.
Yeah.
And Colin Ogu, who was the founder, was like, okay, yeah, sure. Can you prove that you can get the numbers up? I'm like, okay. So now I
Ah,
went, yeah,
I-
yeah. So now I went to my uncle. I'll be like, oh, you see that thing? You were asking me if we can start doing
where
at a
can I do
larger
it
scale.
now?
And yes, we can do it now because now I was comfortable with that. We have like we have like a supply side and
Yeah.
there's a demand. Yeah. So I was just the bridge, just match the two ends. So that's the yeah, that's just the backstory and how we get to
How
Mocha
you got
product.
here, man? 18
Yes.
months at
Yeah.
it. I know that there've been
Yeah.
a lot of challenges, right? We talk about
Yeah. True.
infrastructures. I mean, imagine market with its own struggles, challenges. Then with what you're building, is something that is built on trust, right?
Yeah.
Finances. I mean, before I trust your platform, I've worked for my money. I have to,
Yeah.
I have to really trust you to
Yeah.
want to say, okay,
True.
let me engage you. So at the moment, right, how many users, how many users do you have at the moment?
So so right now we're at 2,500. Yeah, approximately. And so what we've been doing right after the hackathon um, is just we know that we have a solution that could work,
Yeah.
but we were more like, okay, how can we productize this solution for our emerging market?
Yeah.
Because yes, I saying yeah, there's a this
But
rise of fintechs
yeah,
and all,
yeah,
everyone is doing it and so if you are going to offer something to the market, it has to be something that actually works.
yeah,
And if you also look, let's say like even though there might be like little or no insight or numbers into this, but there is a high rise of the use of cryptocurrency
yeah,
and wallet in Africa.
yeah,
Yeah, you believe it or not, more people are moving money with it than before.
yeah,
So now if you want to introduce like a stable coin payment, how can you one do it in a way that just works with the people with the culture and
yeah,
buy their trust, and two, do it in a way that could that could not just raise the eyeballs for regulators.
yeah,
So that was the content. So that was where we more like brainstorm and then just look at what's the commerce habit
yeah,
here in most emerging markets. And that was when we discovered that, WhatsApp is more like I would say it's more like the WhatsApp is more like the social security yeah, in this market. I see everyone, even people that are literate, or not, they have it on their phone.
yeah,
So, and it's not only a means of communication, it's also the means of which people get to do business, as in people interact with
yeah,
business and services. So as in, for instance, I can't remember the last time that I maybe go to a shop just to get something, as in a local shop.
sure.
But all of these local stores, they have, let's say, have their numbers. I could just look them up on Facebook and then read them on WhatsApp and be like, hey, I need this amount of goods,
Yeah,
and then they could and then they could get it to me with send me, and yeah, and then you make payment, but then the payment is kind of siloed with mobile money, because that one is more like, it is the I would say it is the bank here,
oh,
because it's the one that is easy accessible and being
accessible. Yeah,
used. Yeah, so we then look at that and we then look at that opportunity and be like, okay, how about we just see how we can then make payment happen within this, let's
this
say, super
ecosystem of
platform.
chatting
Yes,
and
exactly.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. How can we get the payment activity happen within here? So yeah, so we get to work with the team at the PeaceX Foundation, and then we see how we could piece together the blockchain side of it, and then also the WhatsApp side of it, just the ease of use to get it working. And that's how we more like coin the product of it, that we could make payments happen on WhatsApp. But in this, so whilst we were figuring that out, as in putting together the idea,
The idea,
building the
yeah.
codes, we were also testing remittance. I
Okay.
saying, how can we get people, Sierra Leoneans that are abroad, send money so Sierra
Yeah.
Leone with the powered by stablecoin. So then, so we had a website that enable people to send. And even though it was kind of manual at that point, just as most of OTC level, as in you send the money, you send it, you will go to our website. There's a checkout page. When you pay, it's more like we receive stablecoin, and then we settle here in Sierra Leone
In Sierra
via
Leone, okay.
mobile money.
Via mobile money, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And at that time it was manual. It was manual because
Wow.
these telcos don't they I said accessing the APIs is so
It's
difficult,
so
and
difficult.
we
Yeah.
were yeah, we were more about let's move fast and break things. So yeah, so we, but actually we thought we could handle that side because we'd be like, well, who would want to send money with us? As in, yeah, yeah, we could manage it at that time since it's two of us. Let's say I am more on the operation on ground side. I'm like,
Side of it.
cool, yeah, we could, yeah, so we could handle this. And then yeah, we start like a month into it, 2 months into it, then the volume skyrocket, and
Skyrocketed,
then
yeah.
I guess yeah, we were doing like 75 to 80K a
Wow.
month.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was when we will be like, okay, guys, we need to find a solution. And then yeah, so we start see how we could liaise with the mobile money. And then yeah, it was quite difficult still. And yeah, but then there is a startup also in Sierra Leone that's called MoneyMe. So MoneyMe kind of put together these APIs and make it
Okay.
accessible for developers. Yeah. So then we jump on it. Yeah. And that's how we more like integrate the mobile money payments on the WhatsApp bot. But on the early days when it was purely remittance, let's say for our volume, which was about, yeah, the first year, which was about 1.8, all of the payments were done,
Manual. Like,
yeah,
wow.
manually. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And
wow.
yeah. And that just it. So talking to the challenges, I guess that was it. As in the the ecosystem is quite early, and
Yeah.
because of, yeah, so the infrastructure is not quite available.
So
It's,
let's
yeah.
let's talk around the infrastructures. I still have a couple of questions around some of the challenges. Most especially in terms of the
Okay.
operational challenges and in terms of even to the policies, because the technology
Okay.
itself it's emerging across all globally really, because or even though there are different levels to it, right? And at the moment there's a lot of jargons that you need to understand when it comes to blockchain technology, a lot to really learn about. But before we even go into the talk about the industry itself, the landscape and other challenges, I would want us to talk around the in terms of facilities, infrastructures in Sierra Leone, powering
Mm.
the technology and how you do things. How easy has it been? At least you've been able to conquer the issue of the API, getting the money transfers and everything. So, what are the other challenges around infrastructure that you're still facing at the moment?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Infrastructure is a bit, I would say it's a bit of a very interesting one because I could say you could get infrastructure if more like you are, let me be careful how I phrase it here. It's just like, I said, the level you are at. If you're quite early, as in, let's say the startup culture is not quite a thing here.
Yeah,
So it's more like big companies or organizations that, yeah, they have resources.
yeah,
I guess they have reputation that let's say third party providers can bank on.
true,
And
true.
yeah, so it can work that way. But for startup, as in our startup ecosystem is quite young but also fast rising. So with let's say six let's say 6 months back, as
Yep.
in, like, things are changing rapidly, but before then it was quite difficult. Emmanuel were the ones that They went through the tooth and nail of the ecosystem. We are, yes, we
Yeah.
are going through some of it. We're going through some of it, but at least there's a bit of awareness now.
Now,
Is and oh yes, and also let's say for let's say I could only speak particularly to the finance
yeah,
um sector of it. The policy end of the finance, I guess we had the sandbox license. I guess it was to 2019, but the scope of it is kind of too, yeah, it's kind of too small. So it's only for, let's say, if only if you're playing within like the microfinance angle, if
yeah,
you're, yeah, so that's what the sandbox cover. So if let's say you are a fintech playing, trying to just experiment with blockchain, it's a bit critical for you.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yeah, it's a bit critical for you. So it's extremely early down here, but then the potential is there because the demand is massive. And as a startup, you can't just sit down and wait till everything is perfect. You just have to find a way how you could be just, cutting corners, but not to the end that it
So
will get you in
how have you been
problem. Yeah.
finding that way?
So
How
you want to get me into some things, but
no, 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 no,
but
no, no, no.
yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
You
it's
see,
okay. It's
it's not
okay. It's okay.
really, really.
It's
It's
okay.
not really. See, it's it's
Yeah,
not
it's
about.
okay.
You can choose your word. You
Hmm.
can choose your word, right? And it's not about
Yeah.
getting into trouble. It's just about there are a lot of people who actually also want to build because this conversation that
Hmm.
we have, it's more like a roadmap for other people that that are inspired
True.
or building in other emerging markets that might be also be facing some
Hmm.
similar challenges that you're facing at the moment. And
True.
they would get to tap from your ideas how you were able to navigate your way to beat these challenges. You're not cutting through corners. You're still finding
Yeah.
solutions to tackle the
Yeah.
common challenges that you're facing, right? So telling us how you are able to you're going through this. Tell us how you're able to beat some of these challenges to still ensure that your business is sustainable, you're still thriving, and you're still building.
Mhm. Okay. Um, so I would say one of the way we've been able to just get through most of these challenges is collaboration. So
Yes.
the foundation, the Chris Foundation that I mentioned earlier. So Chris Foundation is more like a blockchain hub. So the kind of incubate ideas that solves problems for
Yeah.
Sierra Leone, as in also looking forward to scale it. So we are in the venture studios. So with that, it gave us this kind of leverage to just talk to policymakers and regulators. More like give us like this safe haven where we could experiment with
Yeah.
what we're doing. Because let's say for instance, when we applied for the sandbox doesn't have like a blockchain element of it. So yeah, we should have just we should have just keep it down till the
To what?
regulator
Yeah.
figure it out. Yes, but then through the foundation was more like able to get us to experiment. So the foundation reach out to the regulator, be like, okay, this is what these guys are doing. We're here. We will just we'll oversee and make sure like they are there to everything as in KYC,
Yeah.
KYC and all of the requirements. So yeah, so that's one collaboration help. As in you cannot play from this side of the world in isolation, regardless of how much potential you think you have, how much good your
True.
solution is.
True.
You just have to collaborate so you be able to go fast and scale. Because the yeah, one of the thing about, let's say, the internet and global and globalization is that from the moment you start operating, you are kind of not building for sale. You're building to compete with other side
Yeah.
of the world. Because let's say like a fintech in Nigeria could scale here and offer your service or even better.
Yeah.
So you have to build in a way that you could compete with all of that. So yeah,
Yeah.
collaboration works on that end. And secondly, also I would say you just have to be audacious. I say be bold,
Audacious.
not
How
italic. Yeah.
audacious? How
Well,
audacious?
so there is a yeah. So I came across this very interesting psychology that, well, this philosophy, sorry, that say be bold, not italic, as in. yes, you might be aware of your challenges. You might be aware that, yeah, it's, let's say you're billing from Africa quite harder.
Yeah.
And, but then, yeah, just be out there and get things done. And then you see how audacious, I would say, really audacious because, yeah, so the dreaming is free. I think if you can dream
Yeah.
freely, just being as big as you can, to the point that I could tell you that Mocha could be, yeah, the next unicorn coming from Africa. So
It's
yeah, I
possible, of
think yeah,
course.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
like the
so that's
audacity. I
it.
like the audacity.
Yeah.
I like the audacity.
Yeah, a man should dream actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, so really audacious and also follow through with work
yeah,
um with that. But just interestingly, I said follow through with work on that is just also I think the amount of work that is needed to build from Africa is I would say is a bit different than what we saw in the social network of Silicon Valley.
yeah,
I think yes, the writing of the code, the building of the product is quite important, but also just getting to understand your market, getting to understand the
yeah,
people, the
yeah,
culture, more like build with the people and not yeah, as in don't just grab the trends and just try to wrap it around yeah around a bunch of UI and offer.
yeah,
It could get a bit challenging there. So you kind of deal with the culture. It's why even let's say we're banking on the WhatsApp productization because
yeah,
it's offer us that we're not one, let's say bringing telling the typical Sierra Leonean that, oh, you don't need to go to the bank. Like, you can just get your money from your mobile money to WhatsApp
yeah.
and then just earn interest or just, get a virtual card. Yeah, it's a thing. As in, let's say, yeah, disposable income is quite low here. So if you're telling someone to get involved in a particular service, you have to be sure what you're
What you're
telling that
telling
they're
them.
safe, that yes, exactly. So it's why you have to build with the culture. You cannot just come and just offer like a quite I would say like a just something that is off the curve that would yeah that
So
could be
with that
yeah that could cost you more.
with that, you know that like I said earlier, most emerging markets basically there is the like deep rooted trust issues when it comes to digital finance, right? So
Yeah.
for you and looking at the emerging technology that you know that your system is powered on, right? How are you building
Mm.
trust among the users?
Okay. One of the way we build it also is more like we're giving we're giving we're giving we're buying into the local culture, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
As in, we're not pushing people to the point where they're not comfortable. And even when we start with the remittance,
yeah,
as in, yeah, traditional money transfer was just getting started to play with the mobile money. As in, let's say, we can pay via mobile money, but then they were quite slow with the integration, so they were just trying to understand will people buy into that. So what we did is we just went out and talked to the people. I said, me, I'm a market boy. So
yeah.
I went so I went to all of those shops, talked to people and be like, guys, so would you prefer to be going to leave your shop, go pick up your money and then come back to the shop, even though, yeah, your rates might be a bit, not favorable. Actually, I don't mind the rate. Yeah, if I can just receive it on my money, and then I know that I can cash it out when I want it. So that was how we did to more like buying into the trust because we operate from let's say like a yeah just a cubicle and Paul. So we had no physical stores. So we just had
T
to
now?
get this, well, till now,
Wow.
actually. Yeah, yeah. So we get to, so we just get, we talk to these people. And another thing that we'll more like do, especially when it comes to when we started doing the cross-border and sending outward from
Yeah,
Sierra Leone, what we did we just talk with these different association, SMEs association. So we spoke with the with the traders union, and then they get us to be in contact with a bunch of traders. So if you can just talk to the chairman, and then chairman, oh yes, I know this guy,
Yeah.
can trust his service. I know where I can get him if there is anything goes out. So that was how I remember for our first few transactions that I have to carry my laptop to the shops, and then let's say, oh, you want to pay to China, and then I execute the payments from
Right
from
there.
our end. Yeah, and then the payments will settle before we, okay, yeah, you can have you can have the funds. And then just like a month or two after that, and now yeah, the trust was there, and then it's just like a ripple
And
effect
it gets
from that.
better.
But
Wow.
yes, it's just talking to these people, and again, just buy into the way people already have been able to build trust. As in each of as in our Africa setting is a bit, it's it's more about community.
Yeah.
So get into the community from the top, and then yeah, it's cool. So that's how we are looking to more like scale across even the cellular market now that our product is ready. Even so now we're trying to get the product into the hands of young people. So
Yeah.
so what we've been looking, just get to this university, the
Yeah.
student union, and
Yeah.
then polarize and distribute the bot. And the idea is that once these young people are comfortable with this technology, and then they get to now yeah, just carry on and then distribute to the millennials, and then
So
get the thick fingers on it.
so getting the young people, to adopt your product at the moment, I believe is one of the fastest things that can really be done. I mean, being that the founders
Yeah.
itself, the young people, they
Uh,
are, I mean, brilliant young
yeah.
minds doing great things from
Right.
the
Yeah.
corner, from this corner of the world. I believe so. So what have been the the steps that you and what have been the strategies you're adopting? Just to ensure that you get proper acquisition of these young people that you're targeting.
Okay. So one of the way we looking to acquire these users at this early stage is just get them to just experience the flow. So yeah, so the go-to-market roadmap we had is it's more like get people to just experience receiving funds on their WhatsApp.
Yeah.
As in, and whilst we've been doing our user testing, and we kind of more like just pay attention to some of these things. As in, how do people react when you actually send them like 10 million on their
And
WhatsApp?
what have been the
How do they
marketing
react? That
tactics you've been deploying to achieve this?
well, a little bit of, let's say, I would say like a little bit of Web3ish, more like do like a mass airdrop to students, because our workstation is kind of right at the center of the University of Sierra
Okay.
Leone. Yeah, so in Freetown here. So as in we're more like, let's say, just 300 or 200 meters from the main university, and that's a household of about 15 to 20,000 young people. So yeah, so and since where we're stationed at Christix Foundation, it's more like a hub where students come in to just play around with technologies and just get to learn about blockchain, and also just increase their technology skills. We're looking at just utilize that community to
Yeah.
start off. Yeah. So that's what we are looking at. And then for the other end, which is more like the SMEs, we already have like a thousand to something of these SMEs businesses that basically utilize Mocha to send or receive funds. So for them, it's just integrating them into the WhatsApp bot. Yeah. So
That that
that's how we're looking at
I
it.
mean that's actually quite interesting. Let's talk around the industry itself. The regulations, the
Mm.
because at the moment a lot of I was reading. I think I was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I think Nigeria drafted a couple of regulations around
Yeah. Saw
around.
that.
Yes, you saw it too.
Yes, true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then to this, I think someone shared with me about Kenya because I've been on the studying because of the course of my work, right?
true.
we've been understanding the market visually in Africa, looking at how, number one, the policy draft, right? Because it's emerging technology, and a lot of globally, a lot of countries don't have like a fully flaked out, strategies that would, catalyze the adoption of this. A lot of countries are still skeptical in terms of state when it comes to stable coins and how they should adopt it in, in operations and in the financial system and all of that. So what's the status of it in Cameroon?
It's
Ah,
Sierra
sorry, in
Leone,
Sierra Leone
sorry.
rather. Sorry.
Yes, true. Yeah, good. So, for Sierra Leone, I would say it has been a little bit relaxed, as I mentioned, due to some of the due to some of the partnership we had
Yeah.
with the Inclusive Foundation. Inclusive Foundation kind of play like a huge role on that end. But looking at the ecosystem at large, I would say Sierra Leone was part of the first nation to get the to introduce the sandbox, even though yes, it has its limitation, but
Yeah.
it plays a huge role for the regulators because they kind of just is so let's say if you get to them with let's say a technology like this, they could just be like, okay, listen, can you guys just get us let us get you into the sandbox
Yeah.
and then we get to see what you guys are up to. But then the government has been so receptive to
To
blockchain.
blockchain. Wow.
And yes, and currently, as in, let's say there was even the bank governor
Yeah.
met with Chris Foundation as they kind of just working on the blockchain strategy for the country because the government have like this agenda, big five agenda, and technology and infrastructure is core, and they've been pinning down to blockchain and AI more
Yeah.
to the point wherein they just want to be ahead of the game. So that has given us the headway, and I would say it's a bit relaxed, and the government is so working hard to just make sure that the regulation quite quite comfortable for people building solution from this end. Let's say like the last 2 years, the government introduced like the tech summit, which is more
Okay. Yeah. I think
like a
yeah.
event. Yes,
Yeah. I read about
yes,
it.
which is a yes, yeah, which is where the big five innovation challenge happened.
Oh,
So the
okay.
big five is just yes. So the big five is just the tech challenge that layer on top of
What
the big
summit?
five
Okay.
agenda. Yes, on top of the big five agenda. So for all of the categories, so the government kind of more encourage young people to bring out solutions because yeah, if we can be just sitting and waiting for people to
Yeah.
come and yeah fix a thing. So as in with the internet, it's quite has been a leveler, and blockchain, I would say it's also yeah really amazing technology. So the government has been kind of getting people into those fields just to play. So the regulation is quite
It's
receptive. I would
quite
say, as
wow.
in yes, yeah. Like if I could just put that question in a one sentence, I would tell you that be looking at Sierra Leone, as in amazing things are
That's
about
actually
to
my next
happen.
question.
Yeah, yeah,
I
amazing
mean,
things are about to
with what
happen.
yeah, with what's happening
Yeah.
in Sierra Leone, Emmanuel shared quite a lot, about
Okay.
also on the part of the
Yeah.
government and the fact that the ecosystem itself it's in early
Yes.
stage,
The ecosystem
compared
is
to
picking
maybe
up here.
like yeah, and it's speaking of like maybe it's Nigeria in 2010 or so, and that
True.
it's the when it comes to investing, in the country and in the ecosystem at the moment, that it is whoever comes to invest now we get
True.
the large results when it picks up and all of that. But in his word that yeah, you would when you're coming to Sri Lanka to invest, you will face quite a number of challenges, right? And then if you're also
Hmm.
investing, invest with the mindset of not just dropping money. You also need to invest in terms of guidance, in terms of
Yeah.
mentorship.
True. Yeah.
What's your own opinion around this?
Well, say, yeah, along the same line, as in, so the ecosystem is picking up. I'll say if we just could just try to just use a similar analogy that exists, we could say more like the Estonia. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
familiar with the
yeah, I know
Estonia
about
story.
Estonia.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. It's a very small region, but then technology was able to just get the nation to just grow at a
yeah,
rapid scale. And that's what we're seeing in Sierra Leone, because when you look at the numbers, as in of the population, we have like 70% youthful population, and a huge portion of that is actually now going into tech. One, either technical roles or just tech-enabled roles. And what we've seen happening now is more like people are more exposed to the fact that, okay, we could actually build something from Sierra Leone,
yeah.
that could be from for Sierra Leone and also for the rest of the world.
Because of course you're building, like you said, you're not only building for the Sierra Leonean market, right?
Yeah.
I believe that you have other plans to, scale uh, in Africa and of course globally. What's the plan around that? What are you looking into?
Okay.
But before we go to scaling, let's talk about the finances. Like
Okay.
like how much are you processing at the moment? Like what's the scale of the amount you're processing at the moment?
Okay. At the moment, we've not been fully operational. We've just been
Okay,
offering, yeah, okay. We've just been, offering, OTC for businesses that do payment, because we're trying to just lock in and just finish up the product.
okay,
And yeah, just trying to just get the the sender side fix, which was more like allowing people from abroad to send
okay.
into sterling. So since it's stablecoin, I seen, yes, the trend is picking up, but then yeah,
Yeah,
there were lots of technicalities and yeah, just to meet. So that has been the focus. But the numbers, I would say, let's say since we started, has been, I would say, there's been quite attractive for early stage. Because let's say if we're looking at our volume, the average, the the volume for emittance in Sierra Leone, as in recorded in 2023, was around $232 million, and we did $2.3 million, let's say,
wow.
in 15 to 16 months. So that's like 1% of the total volume. So we were
Yeah,
like, okay, if we can process a percent from our little corner here, yeah, we should actually lock in and just try to just
and just
scale
yeah,
this. Yeah. So that's that. And one of the reason why we kind of wind down operations, so we could figure out the processes and how we could scale this quicker, was also the fact that when we were doing the remittance, the cost for transaction was a bit getting higher with the volume.
higher. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Wow.
so yeah, so then if we have to compete in the market with all these big players, we have to make sure that we find a way that could more like get us to be attractive, because the strategy was, we we go into the market with remittance, plus with the old WhatsApp UI thing,
Yeah,
we could more like just spread like wildfire quickly. And then once we're in there, we now have add on services. Then now we could
yeah,
get more like scaling into the full neobank thing. So
yeah.
so that's the game. So that's what, so I would say, let's say this first, this a year and a half we've been on it, is just figuring out how can we have the better offer, how can we have a competitive offer, because the blockchain end of it is there. We that's our moat,
Yeah.
that's our point. Yeah, that's where we actually that's where we will say we have the depth. So now figuring out the full length has been what we've been doing. How can we scale this to other places? What we have to do, and what we have to make. Yeah. So that has been it.
But do you have like people doing that in Sierra Leone? Do you have like competitors already doing
Mm,
what you're doing with blockchain?
no, not really, not really, not
Not really.
really.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So
we're
in
there.
terms of funding, have you been navigating that part of it? Because it's a lot. I mean, you're processing. It's about money, but you also need money, to survive. Sustainability is very key. How have you been able to? How are you navigating the funding of keeping the business afloat?
Um, so currently we've not do no external raising. We're fully funded by this X Foundation, the Innovation Hub. Yeah,
Okay.
so we're fully funded by the yeah. But yeah, once we're looking to start raising soon. Yeah, but as of now, we've not raised no external funds, so we're just fully funded
By the
by
foundation.
the yes by the venture studio.
Foundation. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
before I let you go, to be honest, we've had quite a great conversation. I've enjoyed.
Okay.
I wouldn't have thought that it's already 1 hour.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
To be honest, because
yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
enjoyed every bit of I've enjoyed every bit of it. But before I just let you go, I believe that I mean, say in the next 5 years for Mocha, for Sierra Leone, for the ecosystem, like what should we be looking at?
What should we be looking? We should be looking at WhatsApp acquiring us. Meta. Yeah, because I guess one of the things that I would say that might have been a thing for them, like they're too big to play the risky, yeah, just to play the way that they should play to bring payment to WhatsApp. Like they
Yeah,
could raise the eyebrows of regulators too quick. But then yeah, we're looking to just play that game too quick for them. So then they could just let it flow on the platform. Yeah.
and
So
yeah.
that's what we're looking at. Yeah.
What
So the
about the
next 5 years.
ecosystem?
Oh, as for Sierra Leone, in Web3 term, I would say be bullish on Sierra Leone. I say be
Mm,
bullish. Yeah. As in like um we we're about to enter into our 2018 act, the Nigeria 2018 act, the
13.
plot away,
Yeah.
the pay stack act. Yeah. So we are highly believed. Let's say if not this year, 2026, hopefully 2027 is going to be amazing. Yeah.
All right. We'll be looking
Yeah.
forward to that. We'll actually be looking forward to that. Bro,
Yeah.
it's been a good time with you, and thank you for really bringing your voice to the table. Thank you for, sharing your insights and sharing with us what you're building. We really
Yeah.
love what you're doing, and we'll be of this part of the world cheering you on. So thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.